She said she was pregnant. I didn't answer. Then I found out it wasn't even mine. I found out my wife was cheating because of our dog. I know that sounds insane, but just hear me out. So, my wife and I have been married for 4 years. We've been together since college. On the outside, everything seemed fine. We had good jobs, a modest home, and a very spoiled golden retriever named Max. Max is like a kid to us. We adopted him together right after our honeymoon, and he's been glued to us ever since, especially to my wife. She always called him her little shadow. A few months ago, I started noticing small changes in Max's behavior. It was nothing dramatic at first. He would whine when she left the house more than usual. Then, he started refusing to go near her when she came home. He'd hide behind the couch or come sit next to me and just stare at her. I brought it up once. She brushed it off. He's just moody. Maybe he doesn't like his new food, she said. But the weirdest thing? Every Wednesday and Friday night, she'd come home late. Said she was staying back at work to help with a big project her team was pushing. Okay, I trusted her. I really did. But the pattern started nagging at me. One Wednesday night, she came home way later than usual. Like after midnight. She didn't smell like alcohol or anything. But Max went wild. Not barking, not growling. Just this low, constant whimper. Like he was scared. He wouldn't go near her. She tried to pet him and he flinched. She laughed it off, but I could see something in her eyes. Guilt? Annoyance? I don't know. So I did something I'm not proud of. The next Wednesday, I left a GPS tracker in her car. It's one of those tiny magnetic ones you can stick under the bumper. I told myself I wouldn't even check it unless she did something suspicious. That night, she said she was headed to the office. But the tracker? It pinged her 40 minutes away. Some residential neighborhood I didn't recognize. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I confronted her. She looked me dead in the eye and said, I don't know what you're talking about. You're being paranoid. Paranoid? I showed her the GPS history. She froze. I swear it was like watching a mask crack. Then the tears came. Then the confession. She'd been seeing a coworker. Not dating, she claimed, just blowing off steam. That's how she put it. It didn't mean anything. She said it started about 2 months ago. That tracks exactly with when Max started acting weird around her. She broke down sobbing, said she hated herself, said she was lonely, said I didn't talk to her like I used to, that we felt like roommates. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just sat there with Max curled up next to me, staring at the floor. Here's the kicker. Later that night, after she went to bed, I sat in the living room and Max came and laid his head in my lap. That's when I remembered something strange. A few weeks before, I came home early and Max was whining at the door like crazy. I thought he needed to pee. Now I wonder, was that the day the guy was there? Was Max trying to warn me? I haven't told anyone in real life, not my parents, not my friends. I don't know what to do next. She says she wants to work things out, go to counseling, rebuild trust, but all I can think about is how my dog knew before I did, and how he was trying to tell me, and I didn't listen. I haven't made any decisions yet. I still sleep on the couch. Max won't go near her. And honestly, I don't blame him. It's been 3 weeks since I found out about the affair. Max still won't go near her. We've been in this weird limbo. She keeps pretending we're working on it, booking therapy sessions, cooking dinner, leaving little notes on the fridge like, hope you have a good day today. Like that erases what she did. But I can't get past it. Not just the cheating, the lying, the gaslighting. The way she looked me in the eye and told me I was paranoid. I started doing my own digging. Her phone was locked down tight, so I didn't even try. But I remembered the GPS data from before, the address where she'd gone. So one afternoon I drove there. It was a quiet neighborhood, suburban, cookie-cutter houses. I parked down the street and waited. And about 20 minutes later, a guy pulled up in a silver Civic. Mid-30s, decent shape. Slacks and a dress shirt, no tie. Looked smug. I didn't confront him. Not that day. Instead, I waited until the next week and had Max with me. We were walking nearby by coincidence when he pulled into his driveway again. I let Max sniff around near the sidewalk until the guy noticed. He smiled at Max. Cute dog. Thanks, I said. He's not usually friendly with strangers, but he knows who to trust. He gave me this odd look. I asked him casually if he worked around here, played dumb like I was new to the area. He introduced himself. Tom. Yep. Same name my wife mentioned once or twice in passing. I remembered. Tom from work. I didn't say anything else, just smiled. Let Max stare at him. The next day, I told my wife I ran into Tom. She turned white, didn't say a word, just nodded. Quiet, eyes wide. That's when I knew. She hadn't told him I knew. Probably made him think we were on a break or that I didn't care. I still haven't told her I went to his house. I'm keeping that in my back pocket. But here's where it gets weird. A few nights ago, she left her phone on the counter when she was in the shower. I wasn't even planning to snoop, but a message popped up. Just a preview. I think he knows. What should we do? From Tom. She deleted it before I could read the rest, but I already knew what was going on. Now they're both nervous, paranoid, good. I haven't said a word. I go to work, I come home, I play with Max, I sleep on the couch, and I act like I'm thinking things over. But I already know what I'm going to do. I've been copying important documents, lining things up with a lawyer, quietly setting the stage. She thinks she's the only one who can play the long game. She has no idea who she married. People think revenge means drama, explosions, screaming matches, social media takedowns. But real revenge? It's quiet. Strategic. You don't light a match, you cut the gas line and wait. That's what I've been doing. I didn't tell her I met Tom. I didn't tell her I saw the text. I didn't tell her I hired a lawyer. And she thinks I'm healing. She keeps saying things like, I feel like we're getting back to a good place. I smile and nod. Last night she kissed me on the cheek and whispered, Thank you for giving me another chance. Max immediately got up and left the room. Anyway, about the lawyer. I found someone who specializes in high-conflict divorces. Very discreet. I've already opened a private bank account, moved half my savings there, made copies of everything. Tax returns, mortgage documents, her texts, screenshots, GPS records, everything. You want to know the worst part? This whole time, she's still lying. Still sneaking messages to Tom. Still deleting her call history. I know because I put a keylogger on her laptop. She forgot she synced her personal Gmail to it months ago. She uses Chrome. I see every tab she opens. Every unsent draft she types and never delivers. She's not sorry. She's just scared I'll leave and take the house with me. She didn't sign a prenup. She quit her job 2 years ago to go freelance. Guess who's been paying the mortgage solo ever since? Exactly. She thinks she has time to fix this, but the timer's already running. Next Friday, she's going to her sister's for the weekend. Girls' trip. She asked me if I was okay with it. I said, Of course, you deserve it. She smiled. Here's the plan. The moment she walks out that door, the locks change. Her clothes, already boxed, her emails, backed up. My lawyer, serving the papers Monday morning. No yelling, no drama, just silence. She'll come home to a house that doesn't belong to her anymore. And Max, he's staying right here with the one person who never lied. The plan was perfect. Or at least, I thought it was. Friday came. She left for the girls' weekend around 10 a.m. I helped her carry her bag to the car, kissed her on the forehead, told her to have fun. She smiled like she'd won. By 11:30, the locksmith was already done. I walked room to room, checking boxes. Everything was ready. I even left a note on the dining table. I know everything. Please don't come back. Cold? Maybe, but clean. I took Max for a walk, came back, sat down with a beer and a weight off my chest. And then the email came. It was from an address I didn't recognize. Subject line, You don't know the full story. I almost deleted it, thought it was spam. But curiosity got the better of me. The message was short. Your wife has been sleeping with my husband. His name is Tom. We have 2 kids. I thought you deserved to know. Emily. I stared at the screen. 2 kids. A wife. Tom had a whole family. I read it again. Then again. It felt like the ground shifted under me. Like somehow I was the one being cheated on all over again, just by association. I responded, "Can we talk?" She replied 5 minutes later, gave me her number. We talked that night, for hours. Turns out Tom and Emily have been married for 8 years, live in the same house I visited, the same house where he smiled and told me Max was cute. She'd suspected something for a while. Found a hotel receipt 2 months ago and started digging. Tracked his phone once. Got the same address my wife had lied about. I told her everything. She told me everything. And somewhere around 1 a.m., she said, "I don't think they were ever going to stop." And then she paused. "Also, I don't know if this matters now, but I think your wife is pregnant." I didn't say anything. He told me last week. He didn't say her name, but it's obvious. I felt sick. She hadn't told me anything. I checked her bathroom trash that morning. No tests, no vitamins, nothing. But when I thought back to the last couple of weeks, she had been acting strange, moody, tired, crying more than usual. Was it guilt or morning sickness? Sunday evening. Her sister dropped her off, judging by the Uber receipt I saw pop up in her email. Yeah, she's still logged into her laptop upstairs. Rookie move. I was sitting on the couch with Max when I heard the car pull up. He perked up, then growled. A second later, click, 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 click. The sound of someone trying the handle. Then a knock. Then another. Louder. And finally, her voice, muffled through the door. "Babe?" The door stuck. I didn't move. Another knock, this time a little panicked. "Can you open up? My key's not working." Still nothing. I waited. Let the silence stretch. Then came the banging. What the hell's going on? Open the door. I stood, walked up slowly, and pulled the curtain back from the side window. She saw me. Our eyes met. I didn't say a word. She was holding her overnight bag in one hand and her phone in the other. Probably already texting, calling, plotting. She mouthed something. I didn't care. I held up a single envelope against the glass. Inside, divorce papers. Her name, my signature. Our end. Then, I dropped it into the mailbox slot and walked away. She screamed my name. Banged again. Screamed something else. I think it was, "You can't do this." But I could, and I did. Max didn't bark. He just sat by the window, watching her. Quiet. Calm. Like he knew. 10 minutes later, her car pulled away. Fast. I sat back down, picked up my phone. One new text from Emily. "She just messaged him. He's panicking." I smiled. Checkmate. Monday morning. I figured she'd try something bold, and I was right. At 8:17 a.m., I got the text. "I think I'm pregnant. Please, we need to talk." No greeting, no apology. No, "I'm sorry for what I did, just damage control." I didn't answer. At 9:41, a call. Ignored. At 10:06, another text. "This is your child. Don't shut me out like this. We made a mistake, but this is serious." I read it twice, 3 times. Then I forwarded it to my lawyer. A few hours later, I got an email back with a single sentence. "Do not respond. We'll handle everything." Here's the thing. I wasn't even sure if she was lying or not. Was she actually pregnant? Or was it just the last card she had left? So I waited, patiently. Then, around 3 p.m., Emily messaged me again. She told him she's pregnant too. He's losing it. He thinks it's his. Bingo. 2 men, one supposed baby, one giant mess. Now it wasn't just about betrayal. It was about ownership. She wanted one of us to grab her hand, take the fall, and clean up her disaster. But neither of us was biting. I sent Emily a message. Let her take the test. Let him pay for the first appointment. Then we both request a paternity test. She replied with a single word, savage. Here's what I know. If it is mine, I'll take responsibility. But I'm not doing it blind, and I'm not doing it with her. And if it's his, well, he's got a wife, 2 kids, and a mortgage. Good luck juggling that and a side baby. By the way, I changed all my passwords, got her off the lease. My lawyer's already filed an emergency hearing to remove her from any shared accounts until paternity is proven. Max and I are just fine. She? She's scrambling. And for the first time since this whole thing started, she's the one locked out. It's been 9 days since her "I think I'm pregnant" message. No confirmation, no doctor's note, no sonogram, just vague texts, emotional guilt trips, and a half-hearted, "I'm spotting, but that's normal, right?" Translation? She didn't expect me to call her bluff. Now she's stalling. Emily and I stayed in contact. We're both waiting. She's already filed for a separation from Tom, and yeah, she kicked him out. Apparently he's been crashing at a buddy's place and trying to figure things out. Good. Let him sit in it. Meanwhile, I get a call from my lawyer. The paternity test is arranged. Private laboratory, neutral location. We just need her to show up. So I texted her. Short and sharp. Test scheduled. Show up or don't, but no results, no conversation. 5 minutes of silence. Then, "Are you serious right now?" After everything we've been through? I didn't answer. She called. I picked up. First time in weeks. Her voice? Shaky, not angry, not sad, scared. "Why are you doing this to me?" I stayed quiet. Then she said the one thing that almost got me. "What if it is yours? You just walk away from your own child?" I took a breath. "If it's mine, I'll be there for the kid, but I'll never be there for you." Silence. She hung up. The next morning, she showed up to the lab. And now, we wait. 3 days. That's how long it took the lab. I didn't sleep much. Not because I was nervous, because I didn't trust her not to try something. She didn't. No angry texts, no dramatic phone calls, just silence. Almost like she was scared now. Then this morning, I got the call. I was at the kitchen counter, drinking coffee. Max at my feet. Phone lit up with a number I recognized. Private clinic. My lawyer had set it all up, so I answered. Short call. Less than a minute. "We have the results. You are not the biological father." I didn't say anything, just hung up. It was Tom's. Of course it was Tom's. She had tried to rope me back in with a baby that wasn't even mine. Used pregnancy like a leash. Except now? I had the scissors. I forwarded the result to my lawyer. Then, and I don't even know why I did this, I sent it to her. No caption, no message, just the PDF. She opened it within 30 seconds. 5 minutes later, she called. Didn't answer. She tried again. Ignored. Then came the message, "Can we just talk?" I didn't know. I really thought it could have been yours. And then the one that really told me who she was. "Please don't send this to Emily." There it was. The real fear. Not guilt. Not heartbreak. Just the terror of being exposed. Again. Too late. Emily already had the results. She thanked me. Said she was done being the quiet wife. I don't know what she's planning next. And honestly, I kind of want front row seats. It started with a Facebook post. Just a picture at first. Her and Tom on their wedding day. Classic filter. Black and white. Captionless. Then, 5 minutes later, a second post. When your husband gets another woman pregnant while you're raising 2 kids and covering his half of the mortgage, you stop being quiet. And then she dropped everything. Screenshots, texts, receipts. A timeline so detailed it looked like a crime board. She named no names, but tagged herself, so anyone in their circle could piece it together. She didn't even have to say the other woman's name. But people figured it out. Within an hour, someone from my wife's job shared the post in a private group. 2 hours later, her profile was flooded. Comments, messages, even a couple of, "So this is the girl from the hotel," replies. By the end of the day, human resources was involved. See, turns out she and Tom both worked for the same company. Different departments, same floor, office affair. And corporate loves to pretend it cares about integrity. Tom got suspended pending review. My wife got put on administrative leave. I didn't even know until she called me, sobbing. "You told her. You let her ruin me." I told her the truth. "No, you ruined you." And hung up. Emily messaged me that night. Thanked me again, said, "I might finally sleep for more than 3 hours tonight." I told her she deserved peace. She told me I deserved better. I didn't respond. Not because I disagreed, but because I realized. For the first time in weeks, I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel broken. I felt free.